Surprise, surprise, the spin cycle is already starting. Hello, this is Mara Jade, and I'm back with another video, and yesterday I did one on the alleged rumors surrounding GTA 6, particularly the introduction of a female protagonist, which I have no problem with, especially if it is, in particular, an organic addition to the franchise as a whole, but also the neutering of offensive content, particularly humor that punches down on marginalized groups. And now you have the media, particularly this case from Gamer Rant, running interference for ROCKSTAR Games to say that the change in humor is good for the franchise and ultimately best for the series. Not much more I can say about that title, so let's just dive right in so we can get a gauge of the, like I said, spin cycle already starting. And with everything going on at ROCKSTAR behind the scenes and what we're seeing about the changes to the game, now this, I'm seeing nothing but red flags for the next edition in the GTA series, but that's just my opinion. Let's dive right into the stupidity, shall we? There are very few franchises that have made as much of an impact in gaming as Grand Theft Auto, and plenty of factors explain this. Each GTA title has offered gamers unparalleled freedom to live out their power fantasies, allowing players to choose to be cautiously driving, law-abiding citizens, or psychopathic criminals. If you're choosing to be a law-abiding citizen in a game called Grand Theft Auto, which is named after a fucking felony, why? Just why? I just have to ask that. Why? But anyway, the games have also featured compelling crime dramas, whether it is GTA 3's gritty revenge story or GTA San Andreas' tale of gangster wars and corrupt cops. Perhaps most notably, the series has continually made itself stand out for the plethora of open-world games available through the crass and irreverent humor that has turned it into one of the most controversial franchises of all time. Controversial for who? And like I said in my video yesterday, the humor that they are neutering, if the rumors are true, everyone's a target. Every fucking demographic is a target. To include the marginalized groups, pretty much. So no one was safe. No demographic was free from the satire and humor of GTA. But now they have to be observant. They have to be, how should we put this, basically, take responsibility. They're making ROCKSTAR take responsibility. When in fact they, again, ROCKSTAR, like every game developer, all they need to fucking focus on is making a good game. Screw the progressives. Screw the pandering, virtue signaling on Twitter. They don't buy the games. The ones that make those posts to get the likes don't fucking care. Never played a game. And if they're needing you to change it to appease them, why fucking bother? Anyway, according to recent reports, things may be taking a turn with Grand Theft Auto 6, which could feature more politically correct humor, which doesn't fucking work. That's the biggest issue I have, at least with the two rumors surrounding the female protagonist in this. Like I said, I don't care if there's a female protagonist as long as it makes sense to the narrative, as long as she's not a Mary Sue, as long as it's an organic introduction within the GTA franchise. However, when you pander to the social media crowd by neutering the humor that has made it pretty much famous since the pretty much dawn of the GTA franchise, that's not Grand Theft Auto. While this is sure to mark GTA 6 as a new era for the franchise, if it's true, it marks the fucking downfall of the franchise. This does not mean that the series is about to lose its loyal fan base. Oh, really? Oh, fucking really? When they're virtue signaling, when they're patting themselves on the back, when they're trying to score brownie points with people who never cared about the games in the first place, it's not going to lose its loyal fan base if they do this shit? Really? Rather, the shakeup may be just what the series needs to ensure it remains relevant. I hate that term. Remains relevant. Alright? You don't have to remain relevant if you are timeless. Alright? You don't have to remain relevant if you are true to yourself. You already are fucking relevant. You're relevant to the existing fan base. That's where the relevancy is. Not with the times, not with Twitter, not with any fucking form of social media, but within the loyal fan base. That's where the relevancy lies. So fuck this remains relevant bull fucking shit. From its early days, ROCKSTAR Games has always courted controversy. Yeah, that's what brought people back. Alright? And it has become part of the company's image. The release of GTA 3 was marred with controversy surrounding the way it allowed players wantonly kill civilians, pick up prostitutes, and degrade women. You're playing a game, which is a moniker of a fucking felony. You're not supposed to emulate these assholes. They're not to be admired. They're not fucking heroes. They're fucking criminals. If you don't like it, don't fucking play it. Later GTA titles have also been plagued with controversies, including GTA Vice City, my own personal favorite, which was accused of racism against Haitians, GTA San Andreas, which was found to have a hidden sex minigame, who fucking cares, and GTA 5, which had players take part in torture. Again, these are not heroes. They're not even anti-heroes, really. They're criminals. I cannot beat that dead horse enough. They are fucking criminals. You're not supposed to emulate them. You're not supposed to admire them. You're not supposed to look up to them. They're criminals. And I bet you even had Haitians playing GTA Vice City, you dumb fuck. These issues ensured that Rockstar Games always had to deal with lawsuits and an angry, usually non-gaming public. Key words there, non-gaming. Rockstar, non-gaming. That's where you laugh and say... Alright, why should we listen to you? You don't play our games anyway. But it also meant that the media was constantly talking about GTA, which equated to tons of free publicity. Yes. Word of mouth. Word of mouth got around. Word of mouth got around that what was available in the games, how good the games were, how good the gameplay was, and so forth. Free publicity. That's what, if I was at Rockstar, I'd be like, hey, yeah, more the merrier. Talk shit about us. You're giving us free press. Rockstar's controversial style has never been limited to GTA. However, one of the most controversial games to come from the company is Manhunt, released in 2003. The game gained widespread attention for its gratuitous violence and depictions of brutal killings. It was so graphic that during development, it nearly caused a mutiny within Rockstar from developers who thought the game crossed the line. Alright? Okay? I never played it. I can't say one way or another. But again, sometimes I'm not exactly excusing this if that is the case within Rockstar, but at the same time, they kind of stayed true to what was going on, at least within the Grand Theft Auto franchise in a sense. So, again, if it's too much for people, don't play it. It's that simple. The world's still going to spin, the sun's still going to come up. In recent years, it appears that Rockstar has been undergoing a change and becoming more socially conscious. Yes, hiring progressives, right? The virtue signaling crowd, the Twitter crowd, and so forth. Hints of this are seen in 2018's Red Dead Redemption 2. Although it is gamers playing as violent outlaws, the existence of an honor system encourages players to think about the consequences of their actions, while the game actively criticizes the ills of the era it is depicting, including slavery, eugenics, and racism. Never played Red Dead Redemption 2, but if that was the case and I was playing that, I'd be like, what the fuck? Again, you're playing an outlaw, right? And people don't need to be beat over the head to know that slavery, eugenics, and racism are fucking bad things. You may not like that it happened in history, but guess what? You can't change history. It happened, you learn from it, and you move on. It is worth noting that the game does not leave all controversy behind, and though Arthur helps women with their suffrage movement, he is generally dismissive of their cause. Again, you're playing an outlaw. Outlaws generally don't fucking care about causes unless it makes them wealthy. It improves their lives. Fucking hell. The Grand Theft Auto of contemporary times, again, should be timeless in itself within the franchise. Universal. It should not be fucking contemporary. It should not reflect the world as we know it. It's a game. It's a much different company, in part because one of the key players, founder Dan Houser, left in 2020. First red flag. Consequently, according to a recent Bloomberg report, the next GTA game may feel much different from the games that came prior. Most notably, it will, for the first time in the franchise history, feature a female protagonist. Again, don't fucking care, as long as she's a good character. When I say good, I mean of substance, organic, true to the actual narrative, and her elevation as a character is not at the expense of the male characters. She will be a Latina, serving as one half of Bonnie and Clyde-esque couple, which could be fucking cool. It could be cool, but at the same time, it's like I've seen all these red flags within Rockstar and so forth, and then the changes to the game. When I say changes to the game, I mean in particular, the downsizing of the map and so forth, if that's true, to be more as like DLCs down the future. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather you kind of push it back longer. We've waited long enough, so what's another year or so? Push it back and give us the game that you were originally intending. Interestingly, the report also notes that developers are taking part to not punch down and make jokes at the expense of marginalized groups. Another dead horse I can't beat enough. Everyone was a fucking target. It's satire. It's humor. No one was safe. It's like South Park. No group is safe. And I'm fine with that. They're equal opportunity, and that's good. But now you're not going to do it at the expense of marginalized groups, so guess who you're going to go against? Everybody is not considered marginalized. So, really? Really? And who would you consider not marginalized? Anybody who's white? Because obviously, if you're white, if you even look white, you're automatically privileged. The report also gives some details about the setting, claiming that the original plans were to depict both South America and North America. However, things had to be toned down, and the game will now be centered on a fictionalized version of Miami. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's what I covered in the video. Some loyal GTA fans may see the report as a sign of bad things to come. I do. Not necessarily with the female protagonist, but with the humor. I mean, what else? What else are they going to fucking change about the series? And an indication that the series is losing the edge that has characterized it for decades. Yes, if you're making politically correct humor, no one wants that in GTA. However, for a game that is widely consumed as GTA, it may be necessary for it to develop a sense of humor that is more aware of the various people it impacts. No. All Rockstar has to be fucking aware of is making a good game. Alright? That's all they have to be fucking aware of, is making a good Grand Theft Auto game that people want to buy and play. And not return. There you go. GTA 6 could be Rockstar's opportunity to prove that GTA is inclusive. They already were fucking inclusive. Everyone was a fucking proverbial punching bag for the humor. How more fucking inclusive could you get? And that everyone can join in the fun without feeling like they are the butt of every joke. I'm sorry if they need a fainting couch, a mint julep, and a fan for their delicate sensibilities. If they need that, if they can't play a game and realize that everyone's the butt of the joke, even including them, then fucking hell, they weren't fans to begin with. With the female protagonist, GTA 6 can do a lot to mend Grand Theft Auto's track record with female characters. Fuck you, writer. For most of the franchise's history, female characters are treated as sexual objects or depicted as materialistic, unintelligent, and generally annoying. While male characters can inspire toward power, female characters who seek control are depicted as insane, as in the case with Catalina. I played Grand Theft Auto games. I don't fucking care, because I at least have the intelligence and sanity to realize it's just a story. It's not depicting the female demographic as a fucking whole. And whenever I get back into playing GTA Vice City, I'm going to run over every fucking hooker I can just to spite this writer. Having gamers play as a woman will help to ensure that the series has female characters with as much depth and complexity as the many memorable male characters. Again, they're not supposed to be heroes. They're not supposed to be emulated. Of course, the commitment to not punching down does not mean that GTA 6 has to abandon the biting satire and shocking humor that the franchise is known for. Well, if you're going to avoid marginalized groups, then how can they not abandon the biting satire and shocking humor? Because satire has no qualms when it comes to targeting anyone. That's the point of satire. Everybody is a fucking target. However, it may mean that the next entry will ruffle fewer feathers. If your feathers were already ruffled, again, you're not a fan. You were never a GTA gamer. And what may be good news for many, GTA 6 is expected to release in 2024, though some developers are skeptical that the game, which has reportedly been in development since 2014, will be ready by then. With the studio veering away from the typical GTA formula, it is understandable that things may take a little longer. Whichever direction the game goes, it is likely that, in typical Rockstar fashion, it will raise the bar for an open-world gaming. Well, if any of this is true, if what I'm hearing in the background of what's going on within the company itself, with the hiring of progressives to make themselves feel, or make themselves appear, basically, like they are aware of the marginalized groups, that they are pandering to the Twitter mob and so forth, and then now this, it's been one red flag after a fucking another, pretty much. I would like to be wrong. I would so hope I'm wrong. But everything I'm seeing, with what I stated, the change in humor, particularly not punching down on marginalized groups, to now that the media is already running interference for this, I can't help but think it's almost the death knell of GTA, which is so fucking sad, pretty much. So fucking sad. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you agree with this writer? Do you disagree with this writer? I asked this question in my video yesterday. What is your favorite in the GTA series? Mine, personally, like I stated earlier, is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I loved the 80s vibe and music and so forth. And no qualms whatsoever playing those characters. I'm a female playing male characters, but who cares? I love the game. But they don't listen to women like us, gamers like us, because we have internalized misogyny. But again, let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments below. I'll be live later on Twitch tonight playing some Call of Duty Vanguard, or maybe something else, I don't know. For Vanguard, I gotta grind the Battle Pass so that I have that all done by the time Modern Warfare 2 comes out. I think I have plenty of time. I'm very close to completing it, but at any rate, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is Mari Jade, catch you on the dark side. And again, just to spite this asshole, I will run over every fucking hooker I see in GTA Vice City as soon as I get to play it again.